I have a sister with MS. Have you had any success sort of reversing damage that's already done physically? I mean, she's pretty good about, she's been sort of a mind-body person since she was diagnosed 20 years ago, but it's taken its toll regardless, so I'm wondering.
So the beauty of the situation is that the brain has this process of neuroplasticity, that there may be plaques of MS that are inhibiting transmission through one pathway or another. And one of the cases that I discussed in the book was a man who had a stroke, and then after several months, he regained function. He regained function even though the MRI scan showed his stroke, or in the case of an MS patient, the MRI scan will still show the lesions. So we want to enhance the process of neuroplasticity. And, so last night we were at a fundraiser for Stony Brook Hospital that has a huge neuroscience department and is doing a lot of work with MS, and I was able to say a few words and talked about how, yeah, the drugs are great. And we were grateful for institutions like that that do that research, but at the end of the day, there's other things to consider, like how do we rewire the brain? So for people like your sister, there's profound information out there now that enhances the brain's ability to rewire itself. And one of the most profound things that we've discovered, not that we did the work, but that was published in August in the journal Neurology, was that vitamin D turns out to be far more powerful than any of the available medications that are standard treatment fare for multiple sclerosis. So this was published in our most well-respected journal called Neurology, August, and it was an interventional trial where individuals with MS were treated with very high dosages of vitamin D for a year, and their relapse rate during that 1 year was reduced by 42%, which is better than the medications that one of which maybe your sister is taking. So, that's the beauty of neuroplasticity, is second chance. And the beauty of neuroplasticity and neurogenesis, growing new brain cells for individuals with Alzheimer's, is you can grow back those neurons that may be lost.
That's amazing.
It is. Not that we said it. It's peer-reviewed. Proceedings of the National Academy of Science, January 31st, 2011. There's a link to it in one of my Huffington Post blogs. Actually, it's the last one that I talked about Alzheimer's is preventable. There's a link right to the science.
And do you think it's financial, the reason that we all don't know more about this, or that that seems like no pun intended, a no-brainer, that if something like that comes out in a medical journal, why aren't more people practicing that?
This is the part where we're going to try to light the single candle and not focus on the darkness.
Sure.
So the point is,
well, I guess maybe what I'm asking is how do we light the candles to make that change?
You stand as the harbinger of this information, and that's where we are right now. We need harbingers because it's very